start to cut parts of yourself away and paste them in different ways up, you're sort of, you know, the Chinese have this theory that when you're born, you're like a clean, empty box, and then you should live your life as purely as you can. And in Western culture, if in fact you are born an empty box, we tend to keep putting things into the box decade after decade, drinks and booze and sex and fame and money and power and position. And we load our box up because we're afraid of that fragile, tender self inside, the baby, the pure baby getting hurt. So we pack things over that feeling. And the Eastern culture says, as you feel that tremor, throw something out of your box. So when you come to the end of your life, you go wherever we go purely. Our culture says, pack it, put more in, so then you get older and you're loaded with all this stuff you think you need, as opposed to just being as pure and vulnerable as you can.
So there's a shedding process that you did.
Yeah, there is. And that's what's sort of been happening to me the last 10 years. I think it's why the last decade of my career has been the best decade. It's been the most interesting work that I've sought and the most free work that I've done.
I mean, I certainly saw it as in your Paley and obviously in Starting Out in the Evening, which seemed like it was some kind of, I mean, I don't know how you felt, but it seemed to me when I was watching it, you can ask my wife, I said, I'm sorry, this is the greatest performance I've ever seen. There was just something, I knew that man. I could touch him. He was so real to me. Was that a performance? You know, can you talk a little bit about that character and how and just for the people who haven't seen it, please do. Starting Out in the Evening. Can you talk a little about where you went?
Yes, he's a man named Leonard Schiller who lives alone in New York City, Upper West Side. I know so many men like him. I live on the Upper West Side. Older Jewish man who was once a great writer. In his 20s, a young girl comes to see him and says, I want to let the world know that you're still alive. And he says, oh, I don't want the world to know. When I was young, I was one thing. Now I'm old, I'm another. Leave me alone. And she seduces him, wakes him up again emotionally, and really hurts him terribly. And the sense of the movie, it's a beautiful film. It's nothing to do with me saying because I'm in it. It's just beautifully directed by Andrew Wagner, and a heartbreakingly simple, pure story in which you come to understand that that's all there is to get up every day, start again, starting over every single day. And he just goes to his typewriter every day and keeps on writing. It's a really lovely story, as indeed is the film you watched last night, the same sort of thing, a man who's beginning to lose it, who is awakened for a while by a robot that his son and daughter give him. It's a comedy and a very sweet, sad story of, I think, a lot of what's happening now in our society, which is every one of us has in our pocket now one of these things. And you see people at dinner tables and lunches looking at this little black box more than they're looking at their partner and becoming more attached to their mechanical toys.
We've gone so far down here talking about the modern human condition.
Yes,
I want to get kind of dirty
and
scandalous now. Thank you. I want to get. This is the table of contents that I tore out of my of his book, so that we can dish a little bit. By the way, were you at all worried? You know, when you wrote about these people, of course, they've all passed. The people on this table of contents. Did you ever think, well, I better not go to any seances?
Oh, I'd love to hear from Betty Davis. I really would. Well, that would be great. Yeah.
Well, about the book, was this is your first piece of writing, as far as I know, and you're such a natural writer. Was this all stored up? How did you liberate the writer in you? Because these are extraordinary. They're quite short. They're quite economical. You kind of nail the personalities of these people in what takes some people entire biographies to do.
Well, I didn't want to write a biography. Every time I tried to write one, I got so bored with, then I did this play. What was the date? Oh, I was nominated for a Tony. I didn't win. I was nominated. I did. I wished I'd gotten that part. I did get this part. That movie was a hit. I got married. It just was boring. But when a really fascinating person like Miss Monroe came into my world, then I couldn't stop writing. So 2 years ago, when Jill Clayburgh died, I decided to write a eulogy, and I did. And then I thought, gee, she's one of well over 100 or more people that I've known in my lifetime, starting when I was 15 with Miss Monroe, that I would like to share with an audience. I would like to talk about what I perceived, what I saw when an actress like Dolores Del Rio came into my life, or Betty Davis, or Loretta Young, and then Bob Mitchum, Rita Hayworth, Elizabeth Taylor, then Jacqueline Onassis and Tip O'Neill and President Kennedy.
I think you know why you called the book Drop Names, don't you?
And it was extraordinary I could not stop. I literally couldn't stop writing.
So Dolores Del Rio, you have in your last paragraph. Your last paragraph is extraordinary. Actually, I kind of think. Would you like to read it? Your last paragraph, because I love the dramatist in you. You offer two possible explanations for how to see her, and I wonder.
One could, I suppose, remember Miss Del Rio as a lonely older woman, desperate to preserve her beauty, living on illusion and reputation, or one could see her through the eyes of this virtuous 18-year-old boy as the epitome of glamour, discipline, and professionalism, exemplifying the magic of live theater. Yeah, she was, to my eyes, at 18, the most magical creature I'd ever seen. Came into the theater all done in her makeup, in her costume, never spoke to anybody, sat quietly, did the performance, went right back into her Rolls Royce and drove right out of the parking lot as the audience was still applauding and the lights were coming up. And I say, you could think, well, that's really a woman who does nothing but locks herself in her room and preserves her beauty, but she also delivers unto an audience an extraordinary experience. So for me, it was another one of those little things that went, oh, magic. Theater is magic. People in the theater should be, to a degree, magical. And she was part of, that was 1957, 56, 57, and she was a lesson to me in that. And unfortunately, in the last more and more play.
Hello. Hey, baby. You didn't get your trolley pass in time? Well, that's all right. You don't have to get no trolley pass through them, Darmona. You can get a monthly pass from the trolley themselves. Okay. Oh, okay, good. Oh my, you don't have quarters? Won't take nothing. Where you say you at? You at 8th Street? I'm not sure where that is. Oh, you right around the corner. Okay, do you want me to try to come get you? Okay, baby. Call me back. Okay. Bye.
People who dress like this. And, if I see a picture of a play where the actor's got a hoodie and a plaid shirt and sweats and the girl is in little cut-off jeans and stuff, I don't go to it because I just open the window and look on the street and I can see that. I want to see plays in which the characters take me to another place.
So you're not worried that you sound like a fuddy-duddy when you say that?
No, I'm sure I do sound like a fuddy-duddy, and I've earned the right to sound like a fuddy-duddy. Yeah.
Well, I think it's Shakespeare. If nothing else, Shakespeare will tell you that you want to aim very, very high. You want to aim for more rarefied air in order to go deeper into humanity. We can get distracted by so many of modern mannerisms, by surface mannerisms. What about now? You talk about James Mason, who I think we both agree was an extraordinary actor, as